What's going on, traders? This is actually going to be my last recap for a while. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to go back to my roots a little bit after the live stream. I'm actually going to go back and edit all my trades live with the live commentary. Basically, if you are watching the stream, it's going to basically be all the trades that you see live cut up, just replayed here on the channel as kind of a recap, but with the live trades. That was something I used to do. I kind of didn't have time to do it moving forward. Plus, I was having issues with one of my hard drives, which is where I stored the recording from the live stream every day, but I have since fixed that. So there's no reason for me not to go back and do this. It's just going to take a little bit of editing, and I'm going to go ahead and try it out and see what happens with that moving forward. But for today, kind of a sore loser today. We had a red day, got faked out a bunch of times. And we're just going to kind of recap them real quick. And I think at the end of the videos, I'll do like a quick recap of my thoughts from throughout the day, or maybe even before I share the live trades, but we'll see. But yeah, faked out on the very first candle, was getting short here, came back out, stopped us out, got back in for the same exact trade. I still like the idea of it working. It ended up working the second time. As we came up, made a new high, got in underneath this candle, faked us out, and then I actually got back in. The exact same thing happened here. But what I failed to remember is at 9:45 there was some kind of news coming out, and I forget what it was, but I remember it was news that was supposed to affect the market. And sure enough, this candle started like whipsawing like real heavy. It kept running into the high like super fast, and thankfully it didn't just whip through it. I guess there was a big enough seller there to hold it down at least temporarily, but it kept doing it and it felt like it wanted to go higher. So I actually jumped out in anticipation of this thing just starting to rip based off of that news, and thankfully it didn't. But I also got out near the top, and it would have worked out perfectly fine had I left it. So a little sad there because we took like I think it was like $185 loss there. Scroll and see the second one. Yeah, $180 loss. That would have actually been a $75 winner. So right there is the difference between our red day and our green day. But probably shouldn't have been in either of these trades had I remembered that we had the 945 trade. So right there, two losses, 170 and 180, would have been erased off the board. So a little bit sad there because it could have just made our day a little bit better. Here, pretty common one, came down. We actually broke the low. This was one of the for science trades where basically looking for immediate support. If not, we're going to cut it. And it worked out. It was a little bit of a fake out. Plus, we were getting faked out nonstop in these first candles here. So I figured why not go ahead and just jump on with it. We had this pretty obvious line. This is still that same line from the top of FOMC the other day. And as you can see throughout the day, you're going to see that line just get held. This was the all-time highs up here. So I drew these in just to have on the chart. But as you can see here, this was one where I don't typically take this type of trade, but it was building up and it kept making higher lows. I wanted to get in looking for the blast off up towards those all-time highs. So I put in a trailing stop of 20 ticks. And as you can see, it pretty much came up to break even. We ended up losing like 35 bucks on that one. I think it was, yeah, 35. And then after that, another one where it made a nice little dip down, came back up into that range, ended up getting long, looking for it just to come up and retest the highs. And we got that. At this time, we lowered our ticks to 10 as well, by the way, because of the fake out. So I wasn't feeling too excited about getting in, looking for more than that. Here, made a new high. Again, we were really scrounging, looking for trades here. But nice little move up here. Got in for the break of that candle, got the fill down. Again, this one was actually, it looked like a break of the key area, and we ended up getting that fill. This one's a pretty typical trade. This is essentially the trade I look for. It just happened over a longer frame. When we came up and essentially double topped here, making a lower high, figured if we broke this area, we'd at least get that little bit of a shove, which we did. And as you can see, that was all we got. We ended up even higher. And then over here, we took one last trade. This was a nice little bounce play off of all-time highs dip, assuming we were going to go back up and retest it. Got in on the break of that candle, got filled, and as you can see, that was all that we got out of that one as well. People ask me all the time, like, why don't you just, figure out the direction of the market, et cetera, and kind of ride the wave? But as you can see on trades just like this one, I was right. I ended up getting paid for it, but I was actually wrong about the overall direction. I thought we were going to bounce long and retest the highs. We didn't do that. We actually ended up moving lower after that, and we never came back up. So I stopped trading after that. The volume kind of dried up. I came back and sat down at the computer here, and honestly, these weren't great trades. But I noticed that the price action, it was going higher, but it was really struggling to go higher. So I was looking for the first opportunity just to take, I literally took only 5 tick trades here with very small risk, and they both worked. It was essentially just looking to get short. We went sideways again, got short for the break of that. I was expecting both of these to actually dump a lot more. So again, here's another prime example of, I thought we were going to head back down towards the lows to test it before maybe making a move back up. Well, it didn't do that, right? But I got paid twice for it, and then it ended up moving higher, and now it is trying to head back up to the highs. So that was it. That was my day. Ended up right on the day 125, 172 after commissions. And, it puts a little dent in our overall, but we're still nice and green on the account. And we're just going to keep trying to stay consistent. Red days are going to happen. And I have to remember that is perfectly fine, right? How we lose is what's really going to define us. And that's all I got for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. Find me in Discord or on Twitter as well. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you Monday morning. Peace.